Would you like to take a guess at the top 5 most rodent-infested cities?
Well, I would think New York and Chicago are up there.
Do you want to give it in order, or you just want to give me your top 5?
When you say rodents, I think of rats. Yeah, that's what I say.
Rats.
Jeez.
Rats.
I'm going New York is number 1.
New York is number 1.
I think Chicago's in the top 5.
Surprisingly, no.
Wow.
Yeah. Number 6.
Okay, number 6. But that's progress.
Yeah. So you got New York City at 1. Boy, I told you. You saw me respond when the rat came from up the escalator.
Yeah.
Was carrying a briefcase and then walked up the street, up State Street.
Well, I was nearly attacked by a rat in Boston.
Small one, right? Or was it a big one?
Well, they're all big.
Not all, huh?
When you see when it's right at your foot, it looks big.
You're talking about rats, right?
Yeah.
Is Boston on
or
the
did you
list?
mean Brad Marchand?
Boston is 8.
8?
Yeah. Come on, you can do this. You got New York City, number 1. These lists are better than research papers.
I don't know where to go next.
A new study suggests. What do you mean you don't know where to go next?
Is it East Coast? Is it near
let's go San Francisco.
Let's just
San Francisco.
Let's just say Des Moines not going to be on the list.
Right. Or I
San
would think
Francisco was number 2.
Wow,
Well done,
very
Miller.
good. Very good, man. I wasn't thinking anything on the West Coast.
What is
really.
the 3rd most rodent-infested city in the United States? I'll just give you a hint. Cincinnati's 21st.
Yeah, that went.
Oh, you said that's a hint? I'll go Cleveland then.
No, I just was saying.
It's Detroit. He asked
I
Detroit.
said Detroit. Though, yeah.
Detroit, no.
Houston.
Houston, 7.
Okay.
Detroit, 16.
Show me L.A.
Jeff Miller knows his rats.
See, I never.
Los Angeles.
I never would have thought L.A. With the rats. I don't know why.
So where's
Well,
LA?
it's
3 or
warm.
is it? Is
I
LA
think
3,
they
4,
can be
5?
out there 365. You don't have to go indoors. I don't know. Number 4.
What about Atlanta, Tom?
Atlanta at 10.
Miami.
Miami. That's a good one. 22nd.
Oh, jeez. That's not a good one then.
Philadelphia, Bob.
Philadelphia's number 4. You are the rat man on this show.
The rat man.
Rat man. Miller is a rat man.
So we're missing one?
Rat man.
Who's number 5, Miller? You can do it. I know you can.
So
New Jersey.
That's
No,
a state.
yeah.
My bad.
Newark. You want to go to Newark?
Thank you, New York. New York.
Can I give you a hint?
Yes, please do.
Some would suggest that the number is amplified not just by the rodents or the animals themselves, but the actual people who reside there.
Oh, D.C.
Yes! Washington, D.C. is number 5. Bunch of rats there. So number 1 was New York. Number 2. Miller filled in the 2 through 4. San Francisco, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, and Washington.
We're making progress. I thought at one time
Number
we
6.
were number 1.
Do you think it has anything to do with climate? You know, New York
No.
City's got a milder climate than
No.
us. So does Philly.
No, because I think that one of the years we were number 1.
Were we?
Yeah.
I
Does
think
Philly
you're
have a
right.
milder climate than us? No.
It's probably the same
Same.
as New York. Yeah.
I think New York. I don't think New York gets nearly as much horrible weather as we do.
Boy, when you see them, like they're all over in the subway system of New York.
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
If
Well,
if you look down at the train tracks in the subway, they're just running around at will.
have you seen, this was like over the summer, I think. They just started using trash bins.
Yeah,
instead of putting
just putting it out
Yeah.
front.
Yeah.
about time.
Probably because of all the rats. My daughter lives in New York City and loves it. I could never live there.
I'm with you. I love to visit. Can't live there.
Lions coach Dan Campbell selling his house to seek more privacy. Bloomington Hills, Michigan. The Detroit Lions coach Dan Campbell is selling his suburban Detroit home to get more privacy. Quote, there's plenty of space. It's on 2 acres. The home is beautiful, Campbell told Crane's Detroit Business. It's just that people figured out where we live when we lost. He didn't
But when they
elaborate.
lost.
The local Fox affiliate in Detroit reported that Campbell's home address was leaked to the public, and he and his family became the victim of pranks and harassment.
Ooh.
After tough Lions losses, including in the NFC Championship game. The Campbell family has filed police reports, according to the Fox affiliate. You know what? Shame on you people.
Well, look, I told you we used to drive by MJ's house, not the one that he just sold. When MJ was a younger player, he used to live on a street called Windy Hill, which was right across the street from Northbrook Court. Technically, it's Highland Park, and one time he was getting out of his car, and you remember I was a Jordan Sicca fan. I was in high school.
Were?
Yeah, I am. But imagine me in high school, and then there's MJ getting out of his car.
Yeah, but you weren't doing any type of
No, but it's bothersome.
Malfeasance from Silvy.
Yeah.
And people used to show up at his house all the time.
Listen, if you're a Lions fan, after the hell you've been through for decades, wouldn't you think the last thing you would want to do is harass Dan Campbell?
Yes.
He got your team, obviously with the help of his players, but he was the coach of a team that was just a few moments away from representing the NFC in a Super Bowl.
And he could kick your ass, too.
That as well. And speaking of that, has there been any update on the guy pooping on porches?
Was that Louisville?
Louisville.
I have not seen an update. I'll search
Hopefully
for
somebody
one, though.
caught him. Speaking of that, I'm going to have to read this story at the break before I actually deliver it because I don't want to get in trouble. Kentucky lawmaker recovering after driving a lawnmower into an empty swimming pool.
So it was an empty swimming pool, though.
Yeah. He's in trouble. He's got some physical issues because of that. You got to be careful.
The last story I see is from 3 days ago.
About the serial pooper?
Yeah, but I think it's still just sort of a recycling of
last one I
what's
saw
been out
was
there.
Well, he
3
doesn't
weeks
do
ago.
it every day. I mean,
Picks the spots.
I would think so. And once, you've got heightened awareness of it, I would think that maybe you give it a little bit of a breather. No? What do you think? Speaking of harassing people, Will Levis forced to change his phone number after unwanted messages.
Yeah, I was telling Big Cat about that.
Yeah. How about that? His number was leaked, he said, prompting unwanted messages from angry fans criticizing his play. Again, can we not just be civilized human beings and treat each other with the respect and dignity that's necessary?
Well, you know how that goes. Like, they were texting him like he's on Twitter. They were just sending messages to him.
Well, and again, I
No,
repeat
I know.
myself, can you
You're
people
right.
stop being asshats? He's a human being.
Yeah.
Okay? If you want to go to the game and boo him, fine. That's one thing. To call him and leaving messages or to send him nasty texts,
How did you feel about them booing Daniel Jones in the parking lot?
I'm not a booer, so I'm the wrong guy to ask.
That's excessive, isn't it? I mean,
Well, maybe
Did
he
you
threw
have all
did he
game
throw an interception in the parking lot?
no. Didn't you have all game to boo him?
I'm
You
with
have
you.
to wait him out in the parking lot.
I'm with you. I think that
And
is.
I'm a booer. You know me.
I
I'm a
know.
booer. But like,
So how do you feel about it?
like but once they get into the tunnel, like you can camp out in the tunnel.
All boos are off.
I used to love watching Wani go into the tunnel in 97 and 98 when they sucked. And it would get bad. Cade McNown, I used to wait by the tunnel, watch the reaction.
Did you do any booing?
No.
Honestly?
Inside.
Okay.
Inside. But once they're through the tunnel, it's over, isn't it? It's over. You're out of the arena. Once you're out of the arena, your time for getting booed should be done.
I think that would be a fair. I think that'd be a fair way to do things.
Camp out
Yeah.
at the tunnel.
Yeah.
boo
Once
them,
the
have
game's
at it.
over, then I think what's the purpose?
But waiting out in the parking lot, it's a lot.
People suck. Jordan Love returned to practice today.
It's crazy.
They're not committing to him playing against the Titans. I believe the Titans are the favorites in that game. Am I right, Tyler?
Yeah, 3-point favorite.
It's up to 3. Now
Or
may be a
actually,
good time.
I think the news of Love practicing or being limited yesterday, it moved it to 2.5. So Titans
what
are
I
2.5
said,
point favorites.
Maybe
It's a tough
there's
game.
some Malik Willis familiarity with the Titans that is factoring into the line. Possibly. Yes, no, maybe so. Good,
What,
bad, or indifferent.
Malik
I don't know.
Willis being familiar with the Titans,
Well, he
so
played
him
for the
being
Titans.
better.
Well, no, that maybe the Titans know him and know how to.
Everyone knows him. He stinks. You got to run the ball. That's it. Like Malik Willis
He actually
stinks.
played a pretty efficient game.
Yeah, I know, but
I'm just saying, Panthers not considering trading Bryce Young at the moment. I was just getting text messages from a friend about an hour ago saying, "Hey, would you trade?" These were when Big Cat was here talking about trading, and people asking about would you trade
Bagent, I said.
Bagent for a first round pick, and I was absolutely I would.
Well, for a first round pick,
Right.
of
No,
course.
I'm just saying that was the question. And then somebody asked a question. A friend of mine said, "Would you trade him to Miami for a second round pick?" And I said, "Absolutely."
Yeah.
And I like Tyson Bagent a ton.
Yeah.
But the goal is here that he doesn't play.
Yeah. And then
Would-
maybe you draft a starting offensive lineman. Go ahead.
Would you guys trade Tyson Bagent for Bryce Young?
No.
That's what I asked.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I would say no.
Well, and you didn't answer it, though, Sylvie. Would you?
Man, I mean,
I would.
For what?
I would.
That's going from you are going from an undrafted free agent to getting a bargain for the number 1 overall pick just 19 games ago, right?
I didn't want him back then because he was tiny.
But that was for the number 1 pick. Now you are maximizing an undrafted free agent for, unless you think Bagent will get you maybe next offseason a higher draft pick.
Or
than what
maybe,
Bryce Young is.
I think maybe over the course of time, Bagent could handle the backup duties as well or better than Bryce Young. I'm not in the market to be trading for Bryce Young right now, even at a low
I'm not for
price.
serious. I'm just saying, who would have ever thought 19 games ago that Tyson Bagent this quickly would be thought of higher than Bryce
Well,
Young?
I mean, I think that I don't know that many people are. These are just friends, having conversations and stuff. I don't know that anybody's really seriously talked about that. Did you know the Guardians clinched a playoff spot?
I know the Brewers that I saw
Yeah.
that. So the Guardians are in
And by
now
the way,
too?
the Brewers did it by winning a game, and they had already clinched the division before playing the game. And in
Yes,
in
and they
typical
walk
Brewer
off.
fashion, they went out and they won the game.
Did you? I never
Do you know,
played.
am I right that the Cubs haven't won the division since 18? Is that correct?
Sounds right. Or did they win it in 20? Or was that a wild card? They won
Wild
it
card.
in 20. In
It was a wild card, wasn't
in
it?
20 was
No, I
it?
thought 20 they won the
They
division.
I
played the
thought so
Marlins.
too,
Was
yeah.
that the division?
Was that
was
the
a short-
abbreviated
it was
season?
a
Yeah.
shortened
Okay.
season.
Like the 18 playoff
Yeah.
or whatever.
What did you see? I never played it. Vote, the manager of the Guardians, was crying the
I
other
did
day
not
after
see
an
that.
emotional win.
Yeah, I didn't see
Did you? Do I have that? You want to hear that?
Sure.
Let's see. Where is it? It's probably buried there.
Here, I got it, Sylvie.
Okay, go ahead.
That's the kind of stuff that this team does.
Get a little emotional. I mean, you're proud of the way they play.
I love these guys.
I love you, man.
They're so much fun to watch. They love each other. They work hard. That was an emotional night. And to see two teammates come together like that, that's powerful.
I love it. I
You
love that.
do love it.
I do. I think it's great. The guy's poured his heart and soul into his job. And
Very Dan Campbell-y right
Yes,
there. We
I
were just
like
talking
it.
about Dan
Amen.
Campbell.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, 2 of the P's of Waddle's world will be elaborated on. I have stories
Poop.
about.
Don't-
Well, you're going to have to come back and find out. Bus-sized asteroid is being sucked toward Earth and will become a temporary mini moon. What'd you put your hands in the air for?
So you had the stadium-sized asteroid before. Now
Yeah.
you have a bus size.
That is correct. Jupiter, eat your heart out. Earth will be getting a second moon in the form of asteroid 2024 PT5, which will start orbiting our planet later this month. The space rock's celestial sojourn was detailed recently in a study published in the non-peer-reviewed journal AAS Research Notes. So it's just coming our way.
So will
It's
we
gonna
be
look
able
like
to
a moon.
see it? We'll be able to see
Yeah,
it?
it's going to look like a second moon.
Or will I need like a telescope?
No, I don't think so. The bus-sized asteroid, which was discovered on August 7th by NASA, will be sucked in by Earth's gravitational pull from September 29th to November 25th. During the interstellar layover, the space rock will likely become a temporary mini-moon.
Because the moon has looked really cool the last couple of days. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I notice it usually when it's in the sky.
Like it's full,
Shining
it's
bright?
been very orange. I noticed it not yesterday, but Tuesday when we were driving home.
Question. Do penises shrink with age?
I would say no. I would say, if anything, they get larger.
Before I read you the story,
And same with the sack. The sack expands.
I'd like to get your explanation for why you think as you get
because gravity,
older,
the skin expands. Just like it gets flabbier and it makes it look like it's bigger.
Mallard, would you like to?
I'm not sure
Would you
that's
like to make
been
a guess?
my experience in this case.
A mental
You-
expert has finally answered the question that has plagued most men. Can your penis actually shrink? Sure, there are arguably bigger things in the world to worry about. That's an editorial for me. But apparently that hasn't stopped the male species from fretting about their manhoods for far too long. While it's not technically possible for penises to dramatically reduce, it turns out there are a string of different factors that can affect the man's erection result, making it smaller than it once was during times of performance.
Speak for yourself.
I'm speaking for a study.
Not
Look,
my
we got a
study.
fan who's very interested in what you're bringing to the table here, Waddle.
Who?
There's a woman. She just walked
What'd
by.
she
She was
say?
intrigued by the story.
She was?
And she walked away quickly.
That usually happens during Waddle's World. What we do know is that smoking and age can cause a decline in testosterone production. Studies show smoking can damage the blood vessels and hinder proper blood flow, which in turn can have a knock-on effect on erections. So,
What do you notice?
nothing. Same old, same old.
It's the same.
Yeah, same old, same old.
Same as when you were playing.
Yeah.
So you're
Same
playing size.
Yeah.
Same size.
Same weight, too. 185
Yeah,
pounds.
I got-
Same size penis, same thing, same everything. Same hair. I haven't lost any
I
hair.
don't know about the hair. The hair's grayer.
Well, on the sides it's a little bit, but
Yeah.
I got as much hair now. I will be in the ground for 30 years, and my skeleton will still have a full head of hair.
You've been known to enjoy the occasional heater from time to time.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm worried about for you.
You are correct about that.
They want to
You
reconsider.
know what?
No Peyronie's disease.
No. That's like you got to have that fixed. That thing's
I
like
hear it on the station all
I
the
know.
time.
That's like a.
That's the only way. I never knew it.
That's like a
I-
branch on a tree.
Yeah, and like I just hear about that.
I mean, what's a couple of extra centimeters less? Just because you want to
Yeah,
have a
that's
couple
true.
of smokes.
When you're working,
I'm on the golf course having a beer and a heater.
and I'm sure
I'm
when,
not worrying about anything else.
when you're working with a samurai sword from time to time, it's a big deal.
That's all I got for you today.
All right.